Starting off this countdown, we have Meg Ryan, Dennis Quaid, and Russel Crowe. Meg Ryan was married to Dennis Quaid for 9 years until she decided to cheat on him with Russel Crowe. This happened while filming the movie Proof of Life with Russel in Ecuador. Somehow, news got out about Ryan and Crowe, and Quaid soon filed for divorce. But Ryan turned it around, saying that the divorce was all Quaid's fault, and that he had also been unfaithful during their marriage. In the end, Ryan lost Crowe and Quaid, and the movie tanked in the box office. So maybe that's karma. Moving on to number 9, we have Aaron Carter, Hilary Duff, and Lindsay Lohan. Back in the early 2000s, Aaron Carter was quite the heartthrob and ladies' man, catching the hearts of fans and celebrities all around the world. Well, Aaron met Hilary when he guest starred in the Lizzie McGuire Christmas special. If you guys remember that, smash that like button, because I do. Then on his 13th birthday, the pair officially began dating. They were together for almost 2 years when he cheated on her with Lindsay Lohan. In fact, he was two-timing her, so he was dating Lindsay and Hilary at the same time. Now this is what Aaron had to say. I started dating Hilary on my 13th birthday. I was dating her for like a year and a half, and then I just got a little bored. So I went and I started getting to know Lindsay, dating Lindsay. Then I didn't want to do that anymore, so I got back with Hilary. And then I ended up cheating on Hilary with her best friend. That's nothing to smile about, she wasn't even that good looking either. End of quote. I didn't just add that in, he also said that. So he literally got bored and was like, sure, let's fool around with other women. Jeez, Aaron. In our 8th spot today, we have Laura Dern, Billie Bob Thornton, and Angelina Jolie. Honestly, people might hate me for saying this, but Billie Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie were a hot couple. I'm sorry. Well, Laura Dern and Billie Bob started dating in 1997 while on the set of Ellen. The couple dated for 3 years and even were engaged. But in 1999, he called it quits, and a year later, he married Angelina Jolie. That one's gotta hurt. According to Dern, she said, and I quote, "I left our home to work on a movie, and while I was away, my boyfriend got married, and I've never heard from him again." That is very harsh. And spot number 7, we have Tiger Woods and multiple women. Honestly, there's no nicer way of saying it, and the whole scandal included more than 10 different women. It all started in 2009 when the National Enquirer reported that Woods cheated on his wife with a nightclub owner named Rachel Uchitel. I think that's right. Media outlets reported not long after that his wife had attacked him with a golf club after finding out the news and finding proof in his phone while he was sleeping. After it was made public, more than 12 women came forward and claimed they had relationships and flings with him, sharing text messages and voicemails as proof. He ended up admitting to his infidelity and issued a public apology. Because of the scandal, he actually lost several endorsements and had to take a break from tournaments. He and his wife got divorced in 2010. Cruising into spot number 6 is Jude Law and Daisy Wright. This affair was one of the biggest ones in Hollywood history. 1, because it was so documented, and 2, because it involved someone close to their family. I am talking about the actor and his fiancée at the time, Sienna Miller. Back in 2004, they were engaged and seemed to be a match made in heaven. But it wasn't long before the scandal surfaced in 2006 and revealed that Jude had been cheating on her with their nanny, Daisy. She was actually the one who came forward with the affair and gave out details of their entanglement, which apparently had gone on for some time. Jude did not bother denying it. He ended up coming clean to the affair and released a public apology to Sienna, saying that he deeply regrets it and that he is ashamed of his actions. Sienna broke off the relationship right away, but then they got back together and tried to rekindle things. It actually wasn't until 2011 that they officially called it quits.
Next up is Frank Sinatra and Mia Farrow. The two met on the set of a movie when he was 49 years old and she was only 19. They had a whirlwind romance and married in Las Vegas shortly after meeting one another. They decided to get married at the Sands Hotel and Casino, with Mia wearing an absolutely iconic dress while sporting her short pixie cut. That being said, there was no question that the two loved each other. They had one large issue, however. With Frank being a much more traditional person than Mia, he wanted her to settle down and become a loving housewife who was supported by her husband. Mia, however, had ambitious aspirations to be a movie star and didn't want to be stifled by her husband. He served her divorce papers while she was filming the movie Rosemary's Baby, which is a little petty in my opinion. Although they did end up getting divorced, Mia and Frank remained extremely close, with Mia referring to him as the love of her life years later. When news broke that her then husband Woody Allen had cheated on her with their stepdaughter, Frank Sinatra offered to have his legs broken. And that wasn't an empty promise either. The singer is well known for his mob ties, and his anger was a force to be reckoned with when it came to anyone messing with Mia. Next up is Demi Moore and Bruce Willis. They only dated for 3 months before deciding to tie the knot in Las Vegas in 1987 at the Golden Nugget Hotel. It was a very intimate and sweet affair. They were married for about 10 years before deciding to call it quits in 1995. They officially got divorced in 2000. And have remained extremely amicable with one another. They share 3 daughters together and spent the stay-at-home order together as a family. Although Demi has had some issues with her kids, including no contact for almost 3 years, especially during her toxic romance with Ashton Kutcher, they have since buried the hatchet and become extremely close once again. They felt shut out by their mother, who was more concerned with starting a family with Ashton, effectively pushing them aside. After realizing how horrifying it is to lose your children, Demi made amends with them. Bruce Willis cited being under a scrutinizing spotlight as being too much for them and their relationship for why they decided to get a divorce. Next up is supermodel Cindy Crawford and actor Richard Gere. They met in 1988 when she was 22 years old and he was 39 years old. They boarded a private jet to Vegas in 1991 after Cindy pressured him to get married. Quote, "I was a Midwest girl who had watched a lot of movies, and I dreamed of getting married in this big fairy tale wedding." They used tinfoil rings to exchange vows at the Little Chapel of the West. Because it was so impromptu, the ceremony was far from a big fairy tale. Cindy wore a navy Armani suit. The two would eventually divorce, with the age difference being a bit too much for them to handle, alongside not being able to spend much time together due to their extremely busy lifestyles. Next on the list is Mia Goth and Shia LaBeouf, another marriage that didn't end up working out. Am I smelling a trend in Vegas weddings here? In October 2016, Shia and Mia tied the knot in a Vegas ceremony that included an Elvis impersonator. Although Shia confirmed the marriage on an episode of The Ellen DeGeneres Show, officials from the Nevada government said that there was no marriage license on file for the couple, so they technically didn't actually get married. Despite that, in 2018, they decided to get a divorce. This relationship mishap, where they get married, or at least they have a ceremony but don't actually get the license, is very similar to our next and last couple on the list. And now lastly, we've got Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker. Just days ago, Kourtney and Travis had a beautiful and private ceremony in a Las Vegas chapel at 2 a.m. Although they didn't obtain a marriage license, they did tell the press, quote, "Practice makes perfect." The pair posted some adorable Instagram posts of their little impromptu wedding, where they sported matching sunglasses and leather jackets, looking totally in love, while an Elvis impersonator stood awkwardly in the background. There's no doubt in my mind that they'll have a much more public and grand official wedding in the future. This one was super cute, and I'm sure a much appreciated intimate affair.
And at number 10, Ashley Olsen and Lance Armstrong. This is one I can hardly believe, but apparently in 2007, this pair dated for a brief time. After Armstrong split from designer Tory Burch, and before he got with Sheryl Crowe, Olsen and Armstrong were seen out in New York together. Apparently they were seen making out at tons of places in the city. But this fling did not last long, and according to a tell-all about Armstrong, he was urged to end things because of their 17-year age difference. And at number 9, Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde. This couple has been hot and heavy ever since it was revealed that they were dating. The pair got together on the heels of Wilde's split from her longtime partner, Jason Sudeikis, whom she shares 2 kids with. On January 4th, 2021, the pair were seen holding hands at a wedding, and the internet imploded. Harry Styles is arguably the most eligible bachelor at the moment, and Wilde is 10 years his senior with 2 kids, making it kind of a strange matchup. The relationship started after Harry was cast in Olivia's latest movie called Don't Worry Darling, which Wilde is directing. There are rumors the entire thing might just be a publicity stunt for the new movie, but I guess time will tell. And at number 8, Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton. Before Angelina was married to Brad Pitt, she was briefly married to Billy Bob Thornton. This relationship was just as crazy as it sounds, and the pair were known for their insane public stunts. One of the most famous was when they both wore vials of each other's blood as necklaces on a red carpet, along with sharing tons of intimate details of their relationship. Even though Angelina is now known to be suave and sophisticated, back then she was known as a wild child, and the relationship was pretty on brand for her at the time. And even though the pair were only married for 3 years, they had an amicable split, and are still friends to this day. And at number 7, Soon-Yi Previn and Woody Allen. This one is definitely the most strange and controversial. This pair have a long and complicated history, including the fact that Soon-Yi was the adopted daughter of Mia Farrow. who was in a relationship with Woody Allen when he and Soon-Yi first met. Apparently, when Soon-Yi was 21, Mia Farrow found nude photos of her in Woody's things. He then admitted to having an affair with her, along with strong feelings for her. Eventually, Mia and Woody split up, and Woody Allen and Soon-Yi got married in 1997. The pair have been together ever since and even have 2 children together. But it's definitely very strange. And at number 6, Chelsea Handler and 50 Cent. On the surface, these two don't look like they would have much in common, but they actually had a very happy relationship when they were together. The pair started dating after 50 Cent was a guest on Chelsea's show. Apparently they hit it off and he sent her an outrageous amount of flowers pretty much every day, basically begging her to go out with him. The pair ended up going out for 5 months. Chelsea said about the relationship, quote, "It was fun. It wasn't the most serious relationship." After they split, both parties said they left on good terms. In an interview, 50 Cent said about Chelsea, quote, "Chelsea is confident. I think confidence is the sexiest thing about a person. She's the kind of person that if you're blessed with the opportunity to hang out with her, you'll enjoy it." Very nice he said that. Halfway at number 5, Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. The moment these two got together, many felt there was something seriously off about the relationship. Now that the pair are divorced, doubters have even more to say about the strange union. Many theorize that the pair were only brought together because of Scientology, and it was essentially an arranged marriage. This rumor got even worse when it was alleged that Katie had a Scientology chaperone that went on interviews with her to ensure that Katie was never asked about the church. The couple also exhibited strange behavior on red carpets. For their first one, they packed on the PDA, which led many to believe it was all for show. Then after they split up, there was even a clause in their divorce that Katie couldn't publicly date anybody until 5 years after they split. All that and more leads many to believe that there was way more going on behind the scenes than the public knew. And at number 4, Ryan Gosling and Sandra Bullock. This pair dated a long time ago after meeting when they co-starred in the film Murder by Numbers in 2002. One of the many eyebrow-raising things about this relationship was that Sandra Bullock was 16 years older than Gosling. At the time they were together, they never actually revealed it to the public. Gosling revealed it 8 years after they broke up that they had in fact dated. Apparently they dated for close to 2 years, if you can believe it. And it seemed that at the time they were very much in love.
Rolling into spot number 3 is Kristen Stewart and Rupert Sanders. This is by far one of the worst scandals to ever get caught on camera. I remember the pictures being everywhere at the time. It was back in 2011 when Kristen was dating her Twilight co-star Robert Pattinson, and everyone thought they were going to be together forever. Or at least we hoped. I hoped. But then out of nowhere, pictures of her making out with another man were all over the internet and the cover of magazines. The man was Rupert Sanders, who was the director of her movie Snow White and the Huntsman, which is where the two of them met. Rupert was also married at the time to the mother of his children, Liberty Ross, so things were very messy. People were also shocked because he was 41 at the time and Kristen was only 22, so the age gap just surprised a lot of people. Robert and Kristen split immediately, but Rupert and his wife continue to try and work it out. Taking over number 2 is Jesse James and multiple women. Once again, the scandal just involved more than one person, so I can't really pick just one. He got married to Sandra Bullock in 2005, but they went their separate ways just 5 years later in 2010, after he was exposed for cheating. Articles called him a serial cheater, as a handful of women came forward with proof that he was cheating throughout his entire marriage. It all started when In Touch magazine revealed intimate details of his affair with model Michelle McGee. From there, 2 other women came forward sharing their details of having romantic entanglements with him during his marriage. One was an exotic dancer and the other was a photographer. Sandra filed for divorce immediately and Jesse didn't even bother denying the claims. He actually called it a part of life. He told Daily Mail, I quote, "Yeah, I did cheat on my wife. Yeah, I stood up and took accountability for it and apologized. In general, both women and men cheat. It's part of life." Well, it doesn't have to be part of life. But okay. In the number 1 spot is Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. We could never forget this affair, probably because the two of them went on to get married and create a family together, even though it came from infidelity. Brad was married to Jennifer Aniston at the time, but that did not stop him from cozying up with another woman. He met Angelina on the set of Mr. and Miss Smith in 2004, which is where the two of them got close. A little too close. The affair ended up getting exposed in the public eye, and even though Jen and Brad had split, Brad jumped straight into the relationship
relationship with Angelina. Well, because he was already having the relationship. People did not agree with it and even criticized Angelina for bragging about it. During an interview in 2008, she talked with the New York Times saying, "Not a lot of people get to see a movie where their parents fell in love. Well, I hope you also told your kids that their dad was married at the time that you guys fell in love during this movie." I'm very passionate about this one because I love Jennifer Aniston. Rachel Green? Oh, we fell in love on this set, isn't that beautiful? No, because dad was married to another woman, actually.
At number 10, we have Billie Eilish and Jesse Rutherford. Billie Eilish has definitely been having a good laugh about the age difference between her and her rumored new boyfriend, Jesse Rutherford. Despite the pair being friends for years, the two have reportedly been dating in recent weeks, and neither have made comments to confirm their relationship, leaving the world guessing what's truly going on. While some people have been disgusted about the fact that the two have an 11-year age difference, many fans have come to support Billie, and they are finally happy that she seems happy with her new beau. While Billie and Jesse have decided to send a message about their age gap to critics by wearing a Halloween costume dressed as a baby and an old man, it definitely was met with some controversy as it didn't sit well with many. One fan would even say, "Billie is grown enough to know how weird and creepy this is, BTW." However, both seem really happy spending time together, so just let the two be happy and leave it at that. At number 9, we have Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble. Kris Jenner and Corey Gamble have been dating for the last 8 years despite the pair having a 25-year age gap. Corey is 42, which makes him the same age as Kris's second eldest daughter, Kim Kardashian. With Kris being 67, the pair started dating back in 2014 despite minor breakup rumors starting in 2017. It was later rumored that the couple was engaged when Kris appeared on the Late Night Show in August of 2018, supporting a massive ring. However, Kris opted to eat a cricket instead of confirming or denying the engagement to Corey. However, despite any rumors since the two have been together, they have seemed pretty loved up as they have appeared on red carpets gushing over each other. Corey has been a major rock for Kris in her life, and he's been such an amazing support system for her. Not only does he have love for Kris, but he also loves her kids and they love him. So that's all that matters. Hey my little peaches, are you enjoying this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. At number 8, we have Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Beyoncé and Jay-Z first started dating back in 2001 before tying the knot on April 4th, 2008. Despite being 12 years apart, the two would go on to start a beautiful family that constantly goes on to break the internet every time Beyoncé announces she is pregnant. When the two first got together, Beyoncé was 26 and Jay-Z was 38. Since the two have gotten together, they've collaborated on hits such as Bonnie and Clyde, Crazy in Love, That's How You Like It, Deja Vu, and Upgrade You. Despite cheating on Beyoncé, the two have gone on to work on their marriage, and they have shown everyone that age is just a number and that any family can be fixed as long as you believe in love and you work out your problems. However, Beyoncé's album Lemonade definitely left us all shook when she called out Jay-Z in the most iconic way.
Next on the list is Nicolas Cage and his girlfriend, who's a makeup artist, Erica Kawaiaki. After a night of drunken partying, the couple made a very impromptu and spontaneous decision to get married in Vegas in 2019. The two had kept their relationship extremely private, so people were double surprised when the ceremony occurred seemingly out of left field. Nicolas Cage has a habit of marrying people, this being his 4th wedding. It was definitely a moment that the two would decide was not right after they sobered up. Only 4 days after their wedding, Nicolas and Erica decided to get their marriage annulled, but they didn't succeed. They would officially have to get divorced 3 months after their wedding. The wedding pictures themselves were pretty funny. They both look absolutely sloshed, with Cage wearing a gaudy zebra print jacket and Erica just looking confused as to where she is. Not surprisingly, their relationship didn't last after their annulment, and the two didn't decide to pursue anything afterwards. Next up on the list is Angelina Jolie and Billie Bob Thornton. After the couple met on the set of the film Pushing Tin, they decided to get an extremely rushed wedding out of the way. They decided basically immediately after meeting one another to get married in a surprise wedding in Vegas in 2000. Billie Bob Thornton was also still with his fiancée Laura Dern at the time, who had left home to film a movie. She found out about the marriage in the press while she was away and stated that she hasn't heard from him since. Ouch. It's one thing to cheat on a partner while they're away, it's an entirely different thing to get married to someone else while you're off working. And to Laura Dern, no less. The wedding itself was very impromptu, but Angelina and Billy Bob's marriage did last for about 2 years, which is a bit longer than I think anyone suspected. The reasoning behind their divorce is actually quite sad, with Thornton never feeling like he was good enough for her. Not any fault of Jolie's own, he was just intimidated by her humanitarian accomplishments and never felt comfortable around rich and important social circles. Not desiring to change himself, he decided to end their relationship, although the two have maintained a friendship since then.
Halfway through our list, number 5 is Alex Rodriguez and Madonna. Alex was with his ex-wife Cynthia Scurtis at the time that this scandal blew up in his face. There were multiple rumors going around at the time of infidelity on his end, and one of them was allegedly with Madonna. Why this affair was so shocking was because Madonna was also married at the time and she was denying the claims. It was actually Alex's former trainer at the time, Dodd Romero, who talked about the affair. He claimed that Alex got pulled in by the dark side of Madonna's religion at the time and was totally brainwashed. A friend of Cynthia's also spoke out and said that she told her she found a letter from Alex to Madonna, and in it he told her that she was his true soulmate. In interviews though, Alex always said that he and Madonna were just friends, and that is what they have always claimed, so we really don't know. I don't buy it. Moving into spot number 4 is Meg Ryan and Russell Crowe. Meg was in the prime of her career at the time, being the leading lady of romantic comedies, all while being married to Dennis Quaid. They got married in 1991, but then in 2000, she was exposed for having an affair with her co-star at the time, Russell. They were filming Proof of Life together at the time, and they were spending a lot of time together, which apparently led to this affair. She immediately took the heat for the affair, and everyone was heavily criticizing her to a point where it started to affect her career and roles that she was no longer getting. She tried speaking up about it and said that Dennis had actually cheated on her in their relationship in the past, but that it just was not made public. But people didn't care. She was still the only one to get bad press for it. Her and Dennis finalized their divorce not long later in 2001. Russell Crowe didn't get any freaking heat, eh? Cool, sure.
And at number 3, Amy Poehler and John Stamos. This might be the most unlikely pairing on this whole list, but hey, the heart wants what it wants. Amy Poehler admitted on the Howard Stern show that after she split from husband Will Arnett, she rebounded with none other than hottie John Stamos. They met while they were working on a project together, and after filming, a handful of the cast would go out and get drinks, including Poehler and Stamos, of course. During the interview, she said, quote, "He did a little bit in a movie that I did, and a bunch of us hung out. And then later on, he's like, let's go get dinner. I remember thinking like, oh like if this is really a date, I think I was wearing a Leslie Knope top. I think I was wearing a shirt from work." However, she did spill some dirty details and revealed that they never actually slept together, so there's that. And at number 2, Janet Jackson and Matthew McConaughey. This one is a bit of a throwback, but still a pretty unlikely pairing. The jury's still out on whether these two actually dated or just had a one-night stand. Apparently they met at the 2002 Grammys, and then the next morning there were reports that he left her house early the next morning carrying his shoes. Since the incident, Janet has somewhat confirmed the story is true, while McConaughey remained the perfect gentleman and didn't confirm or deny that they hooked up. He told the press that they met at the Grammys and they ended up swapping some good music, adding, quote, "She's a sweetheart, but we're not dating, we're just friends." Guess we'll never know, but something for sure went down, or at least I think so. And finally, number 1, Angelina Jolie and The Weeknd. These two were just recently seen out together and everyone is scratching their heads. Angelina and Abel met up while the two of them were in New York. Apparently Angelina brought her son Pax to lunch with her and Abel because Pax is a big fan. This lunch happened only a week after the couple were first spotted out leaving dinner together. Jolie is 46 and Abel is 31. When asked about the status of their relationship, an insider said, quote, "They are just friends, but who knows, it could be more in the future. He's made no secret of the fact that he has a huge crush on her." And that won't come as a shock to The Weeknd's fans because Abel actually mentioned Angelina in one of his songs. On the song Party Monster, he rapped, quote, "Angelina lips like Angelina."
This couple is the absolute sweetest and honestly probably my favorite on the list. But first up is Lily Allen and David Harbour. The two got together in September 2019, or at least that's when they went public with their relationship. Although the couple had planned to date for a while, it was Lily's kids that helped him make the decision to put a ring on her finger. While David was riding bikes with Lily and her kids, he said that her youngest daughter kept calling him dad, and the eldest one got upset, saying that he isn't their dad. When the younger asked if David was their stepfather, the eldest again said no, quote, "He's just some guy in our lives." Harbour describes it as a wake-up call for him. Quote, "I was like, I need to marry this girl." And marry her he did. Although they had planned a wedding a little bit differently, due to the stay-at-home orders and such, the affair was much more spontaneous. While on a vacation together in Las Vegas, they tied the knot in September 2020. And although they tried to keep their union hush-hush, the news leaked basically right after they got their marriage license. They went fully classic too, with an Elvis impersonator officiating the wedding and everything. They're a very sweet couple. Next up on the list is Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. Right after the Billboard Music Awards in May 2019, Joe and Sophie got married in a surprise Las Vegas ceremony. They applied for a marriage license earlier that day in Nevada and got the whole Las Vegas special. The ceremony took place inside a little white wedding chapel, complete with an Elvis impersonator to officiate the wedding. Diplo leaked the wedding onto his Instagram, despite them wanting to keep it extremely private, and it showed quite a few celebrities in the audience to witness the marriage. Sophie walked down the aisle in a veil and white jumpsuit. It was a very sweet moment. Although they officially got married at the chapel, the couple had another much more public and bigger wedding at a venue in France. At this much more public ceremony, there were beautiful bridesmaids photos. Sophie was wearing a much more grandiose wedding dress, and Joe was fitted to the nines in an all-black tuxedo. The wedding venue was an estate with stunning opulence everywhere.
At number 7, we have Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds first met and became good friends when they were filming Green Lantern. Jump to a year later, the pair would officially start dating in 2011, and then they would be married by 2012 despite being 11 years apart. Since the couple has been married, they have been making us all wish we could all find love like them, as their marriage seems like it came straight out of a Disney fairy tale. The couple has 3 daughters, and fun fact, did you know their youngest daughter is named Betty based on the lyrics of a Taylor Swift song, who actually happens to be close friends to the couple? Either way, Blake and Ryan have taught us it's okay to date someone older or younger as long as you're happy, and that's all that truly matters. At number 6, Nick Jonas and Priyanka. Nick Jonas and Priyanka have shattered stereotypes related to age gaps when they initially started dating and later got married. Despite the duo being 10 years apart, neither of the two have been bothered by it. Both Nick and Priyanka have shattered stereotypes by embracing their age gap wholeheartedly. Priyanka definitely likes to tease Nick about the age gap, however, she knows it has led to the success within their marriage. Nick has shown her how to use TikTok, and she's taught him about what a successful acting career actually looks like. Priyanka has also gone on to say, "I'm from India, a country rich in culture, in music, in entertainment, so clearly the Jonas Brothers didn't make it over there. However, we seriously can't get over how cute it is to see these two support each other and grow their family." We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Sophia Bush, Chad Michael Murray, and Paris Hilton. Now, Chad Michael Murray is one fine man, okay? Let me just say that. And I did not know that he got together with Paris Hilton. Okay, I don't know, I just can't picture them together, you know? But I guess opposites attract. One Tree Hill stars Sophia and Chad ended up having chemistry on and off screen. In December of 2005, they actually got married, but the marriage was very short-lived. 5 months later, they separated. And apparently, Chad was spotted with Paris Hilton. Now, this is where it gets messy. So at the time the two allegedly got together, Paris was dating Nick Carter. Nick's younger brother, Aaron Carter, eventually spilled the tea, saying that Paris cheated on his brother with Chad Michael Murray. So they both cheated on their partners. A year later, Sophia and Chad filed for divorce. In our 4th spot, we have Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson, and Rupert Sanders. Now, I don't know if you remember when this drama came out, but I do. And that's because I was a hardcore Twilight fan, and I shipped Kristen and Robert to the moon and back. When I heard she cheated on him, I was so mad at her. Like, she doesn't even know who I was, but I was mad. Anyways, while filming Snow White and the Huntsman, Kristen got with the director Rupert Sanders, and the two were caught kissing in public. Kristen was dating Robert at the time, and Rupert was married to Liberty Ross. Rob and Kristen separated for a bit, then got back together again, only to break up again in 2013, whereas Rupert's wife filed for divorce in 2013. In our third spot today, we have David Spade, Laura Flynn Boyle, and Jack Nicholson. This is a very odd trio, but apparently Jack Nicholson stole David Spade's girlfriend, Laura Flynn Boyle, from him in 1999. According to him, that's what happened. They had been dating for a year when Jack literally asked her out in front of David. Now, David got all defensive, being like, I know you're gonna go out with him anyway. And she was like, no way, he's worse than Trump. Like, no lie, that's what she said. But in the end, the two were spotted together. Actually, they got in a car crash together, and apparently Boyle climbed out of the sunroof and yelled, I have a boyfriend, I can't be here. But she was caught, like literally red-handed. In our third spot today, we have Bella Thorne, her brother, and another Bella. Bella Thorne's brother, Remy Thorne, was dating a girl named Bella Pendergast for 3 years. The pair broke up around 2015. Bella Thorne was dating Greg Sulkin, and when she broke up, she quickly came out as bisexual on her Twitter. A little while later, she was spotted with her brother's ex being a little too close. They shared a number of photos holding hands and kissing, and people were like, is she seriously dating her brother's ex? And yes, the answer is yes, she did. But shortly after, Bella Thorne decided to go after Greg Sulkin's friend, Tyler Posey. Then a month later, she dumped him and was with Charlie Puth. And don't get me started with the whole Tana Modson relationship, okay? That's a whole other mess on its own. And in our number one spot today, we have Olivia Wilde, Jason Sudeikis, and Harry Styles. Now, I must be living under a bus because I love Jason Sudeikis, but I did not know that he was engaged to Olivia Wilde. The pair first met in 2011 and began dating a few months later. In 2012, they got engaged, and in 2014 and 2016, they gave birth to 2 children. But in 2020, the pair announced that they had split. A few months later, Olivia was spotted with Harry Styles after attending a wedding together. They both met during the movie Don't Worry Darling, and some believe that Styles might be one of the reasons as to why the two split. One source said, and I quote, Olivia called off the engagement in early November, but only after she had already gotten close to Harry. The source continued on saying, whether Harry knows it or not, he was the reason for the split, and it blindsided Jason.
Starting us off at number 10 is Marilyn Monroe and John F. Kennedy. There has always been a lot of speculation around this affair ever since rumors started circulating that the president had an affair with Marilyn while he was married to Jackie Kennedy. These rumors heightened after her iconic, sultry performance of Happy Birthday to the President. I don't think we can ever forget that one. For many years, it was all rumors and no confirmation, but in 2013, a biography came out and confirmed these claims to be true. In the biography titled In These Few Previous Days, The Final Year of Jack and Jackie, it claimed that Marilyn once called Jackie to tell her that John had promised to marry her. The biography also claimed that he was having an affair with multiple women, but Jackie was most concerned about the one with Marilyn because she knew it would cause a huge and very heavily documented scandal. Now, of course, whether the biography is even true, we will never know. So, I guess we take this one with a grain of salt. Moving on to number 9 is Ashton Kutcher and Sarah Leal. Ashton was married to Demi Moore for 6 years at the time that the scandal had unfolded in front of the entire world. His administrative assistant, Sarah Leal, had come forward and alleged that she had intimate relations with him during an interview with US Weekly. Demi spoke about the affair in her 2019 memoir called Inside Out, where she said she found out about the cheating scandal through a Google alert. When she confronted Ashton about it, she said that he admitted to it right away. The heavily documented scandal was the catalyst for the breakdown of their marriage, with the two of them finalizing their divorce in 2013. Ashton never personally addressed the scandal, except for in 2017 when he admitted that his name was splashed around every gossip magazine for being an adulterer. Swiping our number 8 spot is Hugh Grant and Elizabeth Hurley. It is one thing to get caught in a cheating scandal in Hollywood, and it's another thing when it includes someone getting arrested. In 1995, the actor was arrested in Los Angeles for misdemeanor lewd conduct in a public place with a Hollywood sex worker. He was caught having this affair after he paid her to perform acts on him. We'll leave it at that. The actor ended up pleading no contest and paid a fine. But what made matters worse is that he was married to Elizabeth Hurley at the time, so the whole scandal was flooding the media, including his mugshot. But despite the fact that he cheated, she stayed with him for 5 years in hopes to fix their marriage. However, it didn't work out and they split later down the road for good.
Moving on to number 7, we have Alex Rodriguez, Kate Hudson, and Cameron Diaz. Now this dude has dated all the stars, I swear, like Madonna, J-Lo, come on now. Anyways, Kate Hudson and A-Rod dated for 7 months before calling it quits in December of 2009. Just a few months later, Cameron Diaz was seen leaving his house with overnight bags. You guys know what that means. And according to sources, Hudson was not happy with this at all. Maybe this was payback for Hudson hooking up with Cameron's ex-boyfriend, Justin Timberlake, shortly after they broke up. Who knows? But in 2012, it seems like they got over this drama because they were quite chummy with each other at the Academy Awards. In 2013, Diaz referred to Hudson as one of her good friends.
At number 5, Nikki Reed and Ian Somerhalder. Nikki Reed and Ian Somerhalder didn't waste any time before taking the next step in their relationship despite having a 10-year age gap. Just 6 months after they started dating, the two would get engaged in January 2015 and would get married in April of 2015. While both had no idea if they were doing it right, they definitely both woke up every day to choose each other. Over the years, the two have done a lot. They've laughed a lot, they've continued to cheer each other on, and they've shown us what a true support system looks like. Since getting together, this couple has continued to show us their love for each other every chance they get. Their endless smiles, family, and reflection have shown age is just a number and it isn't going to stop them from loving each other. At number 4, Aaron Taylor Johnson and Sam Taylor Johnson. Actor Aaron Taylor Johnson and director Sam Taylor Johnson have been together for more than a decade. However, despite having a 23-year age gap, it's never stopped the pair from speaking about their long-lasting romance in various interviews. No one knows the exact age they both were when they first met. However, publications have claimed that he was 19 and she was 42 years old when he auditioned for her. Aaron has even told Harper Bazaar that he still remembers how Sam looked at that first audition when he said, "I knew exactly what she was wearing. This white shirt that she still has that I love. It definitely changed my life, though not in the way I expected." The couple has also never been scared to talk about their age gap, as Aaron has also spoken about it when speaking to Telegraph UK in 2015, when he said, "When I met Sam, I'd already lived a life far beyond most of my contemporaries. I didn't relate to anyone my age. I just feel we're on the same wavelength." At number 3, we have Amber Tamblyn and David Cross. David Cross and his wife Amber Tamblyn have been married since 2012, but the comedian has admitted that he was hesitant to get with the actress at first due to their 19-year age gap. David has even admitted that during the couple's first on-stage appearance at the 2012 comedy show in New York, that he was really unsure if it was okay to even make the first move. He would even then tell HuffPost that "I was slow to make any moves because of our age difference, and also because she was a fan." Amber immediately responded by joking by saying, "If anyone's wondering, I'm 14. At number 2, we have Katharine McPhee and David Foster. Grammy winner David Foster knows there's been plenty of chatter when it comes to his 35-year age gap between him and his wife, Katharine McPhee. However, both have gone on to pay no mind to it. David even went to tell people that "People always make reference with Kat and I with the age difference, but I've always said there's so many things that can bring a marriage down. And age difference is just one of them. There's so many things that can go wrong. We think we have it pretty together." Now, fans were definitely super shocked to see Katharine and David when they first got together, despite some major backlash and criticism the two have faced since getting together due to their massive age gap. The couple has remained classy and has taken it all in stride. At number 1, we have Rosie Huntington and Jason Statham. Rosie Huntington and Jason Statham are definitely in it for the long haul, as the couple has been together for more than a decade despite their 20-year age difference. While some people have raised their eyebrows since the two got together, both don't seem to be bothered by the age gap, as Rosie has even said, "Age is nothing but a number." Rosie and Jason have been best mates since they first met. They laugh, and Jason has created a relationship that she's never experienced in prior relationships. Since 2010, the pair have often showcased their relationship in the public eye and have been proving that they are made for each other, even if there is a 20-year age gap between them. Both seem to be really good for each other and happy, and we all look forward to seeing where the relationship takes them.